All right, good morning, everybody. This is Carlos, your host with Mr. Juan. Welcome
Morning,
back.
Carlos. Good morning, members.
Good morning, Juan. Good morning, everybody. Please let me know if you have audio. Appreciate it. Can you hear me? Yes? No? I will pretty much will ask for your cooperation to let us know because that way that the information could be completely flawless at this point. So once again, welcome back, Trade Mission. If you're here for the first time, press number 5. So this way we know exactly how to address the presentation. That's the most important thing for us at this point. Raya, Thomas, William, Ross, thank you. All right, good morning, everybody. All right, let's get on with this. Juan, can you see the screen? All right, so you should be seeing the welcome screen and pretty much the first slide of the presentation. All right. Juan, is everything going all right? Can we see the screens?
Everything is okay. Audio.
All right, all good. All right, welcome back. So I'm I'm going to try to go swiftly as possible, pretty quick. So we would like to welcome to Trading Mission. If you're here for the first time, we're going to show you how to increase your trading winning consistency by applying our highly accurate, award-winning daily market analysis. That has been averaging a little bit over 10% ROI per month for the last almost 4 years now. All right, and how you can apply it, right, on your trading. Also, this is going to help you avoid the most common problem with traders worldwide, paralysis analysis. I hope that pretty much can help you tremendously in minimizing the impact of your emotions in your trading. That's our whole focus today. All right, so no cell phones at this point. You got to go to the men's room, ladies' room. There's the opportunity for you to miss out the analysis in a moment. A little bit for warning for everybody. We would like to go by transparency, right? 100% here. And that doesn't comes out without saying, obviously, that if you're here for the first time, you're new to trading or whatever, your situation is in trading, it would always be advisable that if you're a beginner or inexperienced trader, maybe trading is not for you. If you never traded before, can't tolerate risk, you don't have full risk capital to pour into the market that you can lose, trading might not be for you. If you're looking for the trading holy grail, there's nothing out there. There's beneficials of understanding, and there are amazing world of information that can help you become a better trader, but nothing is a holy grail trading out there. We're not miracle traders, we're educated traders with a systematic approach into the market that puts a little bit favor with a small little of the percentage on our side, right? And we try to manage those trades as better as we can based on our methodology. So, right, everything should be around that process. So the first thing that I need you to understand, and there's nothing perfect out there, okay? If you don't have a clear trade plan in place, you should get one. We can help you definitely on that. If you don't have self-control nor discipline, maybe trading is not for you. It requires a lot of discipline. You will see exactly how we deploy that here, win or lose. And if you can't tolerate or lose money, trading is definitely not for you. Agreed? All right, so continue on. Here's what to expect. The comments from our chat room, and you're going to have access to our chat room, as you can see here. Basically, people share their positives and negatives. And the idea of the community is that you don't feel alone in the market. You can share the same wins and losses, but you can also share great wealth of information, and hopefully everything, the analysis that we provide to you. There is an incredible world of savvy traders on our community, and is the reason we're growing strong for 4 straight years. These are the average of comments you can see. People be making about 18% a month, others being making quick trades, and you can see the variety of the wins are not definitely the same, because every single trader is a different has a different mindset or risk tolerance in their trading. Understood? For instance, you can see Kevin made 23, while Lanny here made 10, while Jorge made 9. You see the difference? Everybody has their own personal preference in taking objectives. So please don't try to gauge the wins of somebody else with yours. In another world, everything should be perfect, but it's not. Once again, everybody has their own personal preference and objective. Which one is yours? The other thing, if you're trading multiple contracts, say so. Don't put here that if you made or lost 20 ticks, or I'm down 40 ticks. That doesn't kind of make sense because the market hasn't moved 40 ticks. Just be transparent. You know, I lost 20 ticks plus times 2 contracts, blah, blah, blah. I made 20 ticks, 15 ticks, 50 ticks, whatever that is, because that way clarity will pretty much clear the water, and transparency is the #1 key factor here. All right. All right, so these are the things that you can expect, and the most important thing, this is not a fly-by-night. You can see here how Tom been following us for about 6 months. Lee here, I had 4 great profitable months, and then got distracted, blew his account, and came back and down 14% in profit, and so on and so forth. I've been in this room for about a year, right? So I want you to pay attention, most importantly, for the fact that, once again, don't judge the cover by just a couple hours. You got to be around and understand the factor of what we do. We opened doors back in May 2014. This is myself, Carlos Diaz, and my partner at this point, Juan, which happens to be one of my best students of my mentoring program, and now he's an avid professional oil analyst and trader. All right, our clients typically refer to us as a dream team because we basically created a systematic approach where Juan is focused on the bigger time frames while I focus on the short-term time frames, and we work in tandem pretty darn good. It's like the spotter. I'm like the spotter and the shooter. Juan is just pretty much scanning the market for the better opportunities, so I don't make a mistake. So that's basically how we work. A little bit of the background. I started teaching back in 1998, and I was featured on the Bank Finance of the Caribbean Business newspaper by teaching a small group of traders and from a local bank, Santander Security. And then in 2001, had the opportunity to oversee the trading floor or trading section of a small trade fund in Florida, where we were focusing on the big S&P market. So I've been around for quite a while, and I was featured again in the newspaper. So basically what I'm trying to say is not to brag, to say that I've been around, I'm not an amateur, and so on and so forth. I'm not the Holy Grail. I'm not saying that I'm a guru or the top expert here, but I certainly have my dues. I pay my dues on the market, and probably my experience might be of help to you. All right, in 2015, we were awarded by Dr. Dean Hasley the Trade Titans Award based on truthfulness, transparency, and profitability, okay? Which is extremely important, and I believe up until this year so far, until I've been getting notified that I'm not, we're still in the list. So those are the pretty much accomplishment that we've been able to provide. Now, this is how it's gonna work. We're gonna provide a pre-market analysis, right? Where we are going to provide you, which you already have access to, by the way, a potential main trend on each market. We're going to provide you highly accurate potential objective or levels to the upside and to the downside. These are levels that smart money, money managers, hedge funds, and all these big players tend to go to, either to fade those levels or to add to those levels. We don't know. That part we don't know. What we do know is those levels, we receive most of them through Skype, and we combine them with a very thorough technical analysis, and we create a cluster or confirmation of which levels are really specific between each other, and we color code them so we know from which time frame they are coming from. And that brings everything into perspective of a potential area that we should not look into any trades whatsoever, or be careful with the trades if we're going to take positions within it. And once we break out of that zone, we know exactly how far they will go for the next remaining session. All right, you will see it. If, and the step 2, if we see it fit, we will take a live trade based on our own methodology and strategy, which might not be your style, but it's based on momentum and price action. And we're going to aim to take profits and losses based on our personal preference, not yours. Understood? We're going to take personal profits and losses based on our personal preference, not yours. Press number 11 if you understood what I said there. In other words, if I decide to risk 150 ticks, That doesn't mean that you got to place your stop at 150 ticks. Is that clear? Guys, is that clear? I need to understand what I just mentioned there. You do not have to engage in the way that we risk our funds on yours. What we want you to copy exactly without deviation is the highly accurate levels that we're going to provide. It's here, your focus, it's in here. Look, your focus is in here, not here. We're just going to do so because we just like to. But, you know, one of the key factors of many people saying, I think I got it, how to work this out, is because people stop focusing on what we were doing and they start to aim and focus of what we're providing. That's where the value is. Okay? That doesn't mean that we're going to risk that much. I'm just giving you an example, by the way. All right, so basically you're going to have a buy opportunity, a downward sell opportunities, right? So and it's going to look something like this, and you're going to have access, already you have access to the screenshots. Where are the screenshots? The screenshots are on the top side of the Chatsi level. If you have access, which is the most important thing, to Chatsi, just click on the top, and each link that you see here is available for you. When you click on the NQ, for example, it will open up the chart with what we call the no trade zone. When we break the no trade zone, the first level is 95.75, 77.50, 57, 44.50, so on and so forth. And if the market reverses and close above the 80.25, it's a high probability that it will reach 24.25, 34.25, 55.25, and so on and so forth. I'm going to be explaining this in a moment. I just wanted to share it with you where you're going to find those levels and inside the community area. Okay, that's going to be available for you. And yes, those levels are good for the remaining of the sessions, possibly for the next 24 to 48 hours. All right, pretty darn awesome. All right, so basically it's a daily roadmap or a daily plan that you can see most likely where the market will go if they head up towards those levels or tendency, right? So the objectives for you is to apply your own entry strategy to our analysis. That's how you're going to make the best out of it. And once you understand how we work, you'll have the competitive advantage against 80% of other traders. Now, the most important thing today, which makes things different today, is that today, for the very first time, we will share our competitive advantage against 80% of our traders, which is our exclusive proprietary momentum-based software. No one else has this because we built this for ourselves and our use. So don't ask. No, it's not for sale. It's not available for sale, but it's going probably is going to be available for Trading Mission members to use it and learn how to apply while we're doing our trading. Okay. So with that being said, let's get started into the analysis. Okay. All right. So the market is being obviously selling off. And I'm going to start with the one that has the highest probability at this point based on where we're at and is moving as we speak right now, and is a CL. So we have a no trade zone today. Let me first of all explain to you on the right side here. You can see, let me see if I can just move this away. And you can see on the right side what we have in here, right in here, all right? So we have here what we call our momentum-based indication. The way that we read this is we would like to see the 1 hour tendency, and this is reading 60 minutes from the time of the last second, right? Or the actual time or tick. From the last tick, the market sentiment has a percentage of commitment behind it. So we would like to see this above or beyond 100, 110, whether that be negative or positive, and that should be the remaining potential trend that you should focus all your decisions into the remaining of the session. So in other words, if this is 100, excuse me, if this is 100, it's saying over 100, 110%, in this case is negative, you should focus only on sell setups only. Understood? Once again, above 100 to 110, focus exclusively on sell setups only. To back this up, we got the price structure reading here on the arrow. This has nothing to do with this. This is separate readings. It's just confirming that's exactly what we should be doing. The lower time frames, I added another one because I usually only use the smaller time frames, but I use a medium time frame at this point. If these guys are above or beyond 150 to 200, okay. If we got positive or negative 150 to 200, that means that actual traders are committed to follow through on the main trend. That's how it works. Actual commitments of traders backing up the main trend. I repeat that again. Actual traders at that moment, as of right now, are committed to follow through the main trend. Is that clear? Press number 7 if you understood, so I can continue on. Right? So basically, just by glancing at this, I can say I should focus only on sell setups, and traders are backing this up. Awesome. So now my focus is to where can I sell? Understood. My next question, darn it, where can I go short? The market already shorted, already went down, and it's hitting what we call, and let me explain now, what we call the trade zone. You notice there's a square right in here, and we call this a unbiased tendency. Obviously, is a 76 huge swings, and this is, I think, a 68 swing trade, which at this point, over 40 tick of move in one single direction for me is an impulse move based on Elliott wave patterns. So this goes in sync with the price action structure, which is suggesting a sell setup. It also confirms that the main trend should be focused on sell setups only. And it also confirms that traders are backing this up all the way through. Understood. This is a CL, by the way. This is oil. Understood. Okay. So obviously the next question would be, when do we short? The problem is, if you're a scalper or day trader, the opportunity pretty much ran out. If you're a swing trader, you shouldn't have much problem because you can short right here without giving a damn about it and place your stop above the swing high. And you're expecting the market to continue down. You see the difference, yes or no? That's the difference. You see now? Focus on sell setups only, backed up by the price structure. Sellers are backing this up, and the market has moved a decent over 40 tick move in one direction, which implies in Elliott wave patterns a potential right tendency on that direction, which is sell. Perfect. Where do we short? That depends on you. You tell me. I can tell you my idea. I will expect for a couple of a pullback and then try to go in on the break of momentum. That's another way for us to trade. I'm going to share with you one technique that we use, but basically this is where everybody just deviates, where everybody's free to do their own thing. Makes sense? Yes or no? Right? So once again, plan of action. What this is telling me, you got to share with me, because if not, then I'm wasting my time explaining this. What is this telling you? What is this telling you? Is it above 100? So basically, pretty much main trend. Thank you, Rob. Absolutely. Main trend, which is focused on sell setups only, unless this guys drop into the positive 100. If that guy right here, if this guy right here drop into the positive 100, the downtrend is canceled, and we should look for uptrends. Understood? Very simple, straightforward. We built this for simplicity and speed. We built this for simplicity and speed. All right. So basically, focus on sell setups only. Now the short time frames, we got it confirmed here. Is the readings are telling me that the actual traders at this point are committed on the main trend, right? Obviously, we can expect a pullback because the market already moved about 68 ticks in one direction. That's one thing. now that I have cleared the tendency and the momentum, and what we should be aiming to do, the focus right now is to what the heck are we going to do in terms of opportunities? Where is it? Where should I short this market? So you got to be patient. You got to wait. Now you got to bring in your Fibonacci's. You can bring in Elliott wave patterns. You can bring in price and support. You can bring structures. You bring your OFA. You can bring your CCI squeeze. You can bring your Elliott wave patterns. You can bring your Kellner bands, Bollinger bands, Stochastic, whatever you use. I don't care. The idea right now is to focus on going short, and you now deploy your own methodology to look for short positions. Is that being clear? All what we're trying to do, guys, is to keep the odds on our favor, and that's the reason we build these tools, to understand in which side the probabilities of success on trading are today, as of this morning. Yes, it is not 100% written in stone. Yes, it has a probability of failed. I've been transparent. Yes, it has a probability, right, of failed, because we can't control the future. We just have an idea now where we should be focusing our efforts towards to. Okay, so having said that, my challenge to you, trading mission challenge to you right now, we just opened up our secret vault by showing you what we do in terms of selecting the price structure and momentum, and reason why for the 4 straight year, we nailed the trend for the market with almost 90% certainty. Anybody to care to share with us here to see if I'm bullshitting everybody can tell here, am I lying, or if this is true? You can come up and put me, put me to rest at this point, saying, guys, if you've been following us for over 3 years, or members that have been here, you can testify that the selection of the trend, we are almost 90% accurate in selection of trend. Here's the secret of our success right here. I just came up clean, and now I feel confident that I can die happy, right? This took us 9 years to build. 9 years to build and come up with the right algorithm to read this thing correctly. Now, here's a problem. Each market has a different algorithm, so it sucks. I have to go separately on each market and create an algorithm for each one, and then it looks something like this. And then I have gold, NQ, YM, ES. Isn't this awesome or what? Can just by glancing at the market here, I can see exactly what's going on, right? On each one of those and focus at that point. The problem is that the market moves so erratically, so as these numbers. So it's not a set in stone tool that say, all right, we're going to blindly short, blah, blah, blah. No, you got to then apply your analytical aspects of as a trader and make a really good, thorough analysis and saying, okay, so let's just start analyzing the market. I know where I should be focusing my efforts to now, but okay, the market already moves 68 points. I need to pull back. Now we need to apply structure into it. We need to apply different techniques. So for example, how far up can I allow this to pull back? And I use price structure. I notice here that the market pulled about 22 ticks and moved down. Here's another decent pullback before a nice decent move down. I need to measure that one. On the way down, they have a tiny bit of a pullback here that I don't like, but I need to use it. So I saw here another 28. This goes in sync with this 22. So all of a sudden, here's another 22 that it represents against with this 22. So it's highly probable that the market will pull back anywhere from 20 to 30 ticks, right? Based on the price structure that I've seen doing recently. So let me just measure this one. I'm on a 5 minute because I need to fine tune the swings. I don't like 5 minutes, but here's look, 21, 22, 22, 28. So this means these guys are going to pull back up about 20-ish ticks. So I can say, okay, let's just do the 20, and I will mark that. as follows, just like so. And then I'm going to extend this to 30-ish because it was 28. So I'm going to go with 30. And just right off the bat, by going to 30, take a look at this double top formation before the drop of 39 ticks. So there you go. I can mark that as a potential pullback area, which is as a whole. Look, that double top, if I move it, it's exactly 28 ticks, which is this pullback that they did before. So now I have kind of a micro zone of price structure that I can expect these guys to pull back towards to and start looking for sell opportunity if, listen to me, if this guy keep itself below the 100 negative. See how cool this is? What if the markets just come here and this guy's drop below 100? I'm going to start questioning, right, the commitment of the sell point at this point, and this could only be a retest of the no trade zone, and then they're probably going to head back towards the top of the no trade zone. So as I said, the tool just helps you gauge the decision that you're going to make. So the tool is going to help you to make the decisions of the trend that you're going to try to look for opportunities, but it doesn't deviate from the fact that you have to be a really thorough and an analyst to make the right judgment and decisions. Understood. So now we wait. And that's kind of the outlook that we have on CL. Potential sell setup only at this moment, but everything can change by 9 o'clock, right? Now, let's just talk about the levels. Now that we explained about the tool and whatnot, let's just talk about what's important at this point. Here's where the cool thing. So we got the no trade zone, which means we have a lot of floating orders back and forth from buyers and sellers everywhere. You can see it right here, how the pressures start mounting up, right? And the market is being pushed further up every time that they test the 80 to 71 level. Here's again. So, and that's again, right? So that means there's a lot of buyers in here. Even though the momentum is bearish at this point and is suggesting a sell setups only, we still got buyers, which makes the logic says, once we clear this area, then we have a 44, 25, 20, 64, 13, 63, 90, 93 area to reach into, okay? But it's not until we clear this conglomerate of potential buying structure or pressure or order flow pressure as buyers based on transitions that we might encounter a lot of support on the way down. You see, now I'm focusing on becoming an analyst, not the tendency. We already know what to look for. I just want to make sure that the mindset is going to be the following. If I go short at any moment, whether that be here on the fake out of the top to the downside or the breakthrough of here, as you can see, you can apply any technique that you want. The key factor is understanding that it's not until they clear the 71 to 80 level, we will encounter support. There is no other way around it. There's nothing to hide about this, and that's the fact. It has been proven that every time that they try to test those levels down, they've been pushing the market up over and over and over again, making it difficult for us to validate and confirm that if they break through, it's going to be a swift move to the downside, unless you're a swing trader and you say, screw it, I'm going to go short on my signal, and I'm going to place my stop on the other side of the ledger and let it be. I either get stopped out and the targets are being hit or not. That's one mentality. That's one mindset. Or I'm going to short here on the short bin bias. I'm going to place a really tight stop just in case I get stopped out. I don't lose much, and I wait for the next opportunity or window. One of them has to be a clear one and a good one, because this guy's is telling me focus on sell setups only. And these guys are above 200%, 150 and 200%, which means the sellers are backing the main trend down. Understood? What we don't know is when it's going to happen. I wish I could. Okay? This is being recorded, dudes and dudettes, so don't worry about it, okay? All right, so now I'm on a 5-minute chart because a lot of people being kind of like the 5-minute chart. That's okay. So I'm looking for a pulling bar technique, and although this is not I'm going to try to go as quick as possible. Pulling bar technique is basically a downtrend move, and once we have a pullback that comprises 2 or more pullback bars, 2 or more, I wait for the last bar to close. The bottom of that bar minus 2 ticks should be the entry to the downside, plus 3 ticks should be the stop on the top side, right? This is not 100% accurate, but it's about 70% accurate because we're using price action structure to continue in the main trend that we were focusing on. Understood? All right? So that's cool. So basically, we got here the lowest part, 1. It's bouncing of the bottom side of the no trade zone or the ledger of the unbiased tendency area. Yes. Which means we should expect some bounce and a market push back up. Yes. We should still focus on sell setups. Okay. So should we short? No, because we just bounced off that problematic area. The best way or area to short is wait for this guy to push further up, start coming back down, and look for an opportunity to short there with a tighter stop, right? We're not foolproof about getting stopped out, but we're making the right judgment by saying, let's just wait for a pullback. And just like they did in here, and they moved down here, I'm hoping to represent or recreate this price structure anywhere in here. Understood? I am hoping to recreate what they did here anywhere in here. Yes or no? You see how clear this is? So the focus right now is, all right, what are we going to do? This seems like they're bouncing off the bottom here. Oh, I think this is going to be a great opportunity to go short. Well, what this is telling us at this point is weak, right? Look, you see that they dropped below the 100. There's no trade. Should we buy? I'm not buying. I'm waiting for everything to realign or realign itself on the way down. Now they're just back up again to the region of the price action symmetry, which is anywhere from 22 to 28 ticks, which dies around in here. And supposedly, in quotes, they should finish doing their pullback and come back down again eventually. It's 8 o'clock. Nothing feeling the market. I forgot to bring these over. Reports today, Monday. It's only, let me go to the calendar. We go for Monday, and the only thing that we have today is non-manufacturing PMI at 10 o'clock. There's nothing pretty much feeling the market. You can add the median impact if you want to. Okay, if I don't apply filter. There's nothing in here. Tomorrow, let's see. There's just one median impact tomorrow. So yeah, the market just has one high impact at 10 o'clock, which means this is probably speculation driven today, which means at 9 o'clock, the opening of the actual oil market is the one who's going to bring the most volatility into it, and we start seeing some opportunities back then. That doesn't mean that we're just watching the market, just testing a pullback area based on price structure. They should pull back anywhere from 95 to 65.03. If they go further, that's okay. But I'm paying a close attention to the right side here, and I'm reading that this is still negative. It is not confirming the tendency bearish as strong as I want it to, because I want to make sure that the M60 is above 110% negative to commit on a sell side, and that already happened on the 66 ticks down. Now we just have to be patient for this to realign itself, which is absolutely cool, because now I can focus on other areas. Isn't that awesome? The same thing will apply here. Let me go to the NQ, no trade zone, which represents on the bias zone. A lot of buyers stepping into the 1925 A lot of sellers stepping between the 72.25 to 80.25. Above and beyond 80.25, there is a clear path all the way to 24.25, 34.25, 55.25, and keeps going on and on. 80.50, 7.25, 28.25, and 45. We can see here the long-term perspective is over 300% negative. This is sell setups only. Let me refresh this ninja script here so we can have the price action. All right, that's the arrow. Price validating the 1 hour represents on oil, 15 minutes and 5 minute represents pretty much the long-term perspective of the NQ. But NQ is really is so aggressive that this can change in a bit. So be careful. We got to be really careful about this by picking the right entries opportunities. That's the reason we have the levels. So now take a closer look here. Market closed earlier today below the 1925, the bottom of the ledger. Once they broke through that tendency, the next level is going to be the 75, boom, target hit. The next level is going to be available is 77.50, 57, and 44.50 is the one that we're focusing today. And you can see the color in there is purple, which represent that it's been 5 times confirmed on different time frames, modalities, and technical analysis. In other words, we got 5 layers of analysis that reach into a certain agreement that 44.50 has a high probability of being reached today if the main trend sustained. My question to you, by taking a glance on the right side, is the market bearish or bullish? Is the market bearish or bullish? There you go, Mark. Thank you. Bob, I don't have time to explain the intricacies or the details of the tool at this point, please. So I'm sorry for, I'm not saying that I'm not being an ass or anything, just I don't have time for that. All right, so I apologize for not being able to share that, okay? As I said, each market is different. Each market is different, okay? Each market is different, all right? And has a different modality. There's a reason we have a 2-hour training of how to create a profile of the market, understanding what is the average swing, the average time, the best timing sequence for each market is a different beast, so to speak, okay? All right, so, and for instance, right now, let me bring in the clock. It's 8:15. We should not be tampering with the market at this point, right? There's a few things. Look, listen. The market already moved 71 full points on the NQ. Pre-market movement. Pre-market movement. This means that it's going to be a very interesting morning for the indices. It's going to be a nasty one, right? Very difficult. And these are the levels that we're looking for on the long-term perspective on the indices. At least on the NQ, I'm looking for 44.50 and 16.50, just so you know, okay? Let me put that correctly. All right, these are the long-term perspective outlook as a swing trader, okay? So there is a high input report at 10 o'clock in the morning, which means I will expect some decent movement by 10:15 a.m. A decent movement probably at 9:30 to 50. 9:30, I'll try to give it about 20 minutes past the 9:30, maybe 10 to 15, and start seeing the clear movement at that timing sequence. The next timing sequence on the indices is the 10 o'clock reversal. That's a kind of a norm. So I should expect some movement by 10, right? If nothing happens at 9:30 to 9:45, it's going to happen at 10 to 10:15. It doesn't happen at 10 to 10:15. It's probably going to happen at 11. It doesn't happen at 11, and so on and so forth. Got it? I mean, if you got to learn the profile of the market and the timing sequencing of the movement. But typically by the 11:45 is the most, we should be out of the market altogether with a potential opportunity of a profit. If nothing pans out between 9:30 and 11, the market is just plain and simple, very unstable and crazy, or probably we already lost money into it. David, yes, but I don't share the Forex one in here. Later this month, we're opening up a version. I'll explain later on. I don't want to go into, this is not a pitch fest. So there's probably going to be a course that we're going to be releasing typically every 3 months. And yeah, it's going to be applicable for Forex. But anyways, so the no trade zone, right? You already know, we call it the no trade zone. It's basically the unbiased zone, unbiased zone. And you notice there's the green boxes right here. The green boxes represent that from 57 to 44.50 in multiple layers, like from 57 to 44.50, there's a lot of floating orders, could be buyers waiting to liquidate their selling positions, or it could be smart money waiting for the market to reach this area so they can buy the bottom of it. Which one? I have no idea. I wish I knew. But what we all know is that we have a clarification of buying floating orders at those levels. Okay? All right, guys. I'm sorry, I needed to take a drink, guys. I apologize. All right. So far, so good, guys, on the clearance of the readings, right, of what we're looking for. So notice here how the lower time frame just went into the positive side. That means that we're on a pullback area, or I'm sorry, on a pullback momentum tendency. But take a closer look at the bottom side of the ledger here of our momentum reading tool, that it's indicating, you know, relax. We're on a pullback. So wait for opportunity to rejoin them on a potential sell setup. Or, listen, or we're done on the downward move. We're getting started on the transition to the upside. Oh, but when then can we join the buyers? That's where the levels are for. If we break above the 80-25, it means that we're breaking outside the unbiased momentum area or tendency area, and it should, by then, listen, by then, it should put this lower time frames here, or this specifically this one, on the positive 100 mark. Understood. One level will be confirmed by the momentum. And then we can say, all right, awesome. I can join them in, can place my stop, whatever it is that you use to place your stops, and Godspeed from that point on. Isn't that awesome? Yes? No? Okay. So right now, take a closer look at CL. What's going on with CL? Look, we just lost momentum. Isn't this awesome? Oh, should we short now on the level that you mentioned? Heck no. Look, there's no momentum. It just died. You're starting to see the power of this, yes or no? I'm gonna explain the other three markets in a moment, but actually, you know what? Let me just talk about gold. Now, check. Here's when in gold we broke outside 39.20, 39.20 in gold, right? So we should focus at this point on GC, for example, breaking outside the ledger. So what are we looking for? Well, if we're bringing this to momentum tool, it's just telling us that the beginning stages of the top side of the lower time frames are positive. So that means that these guys are slightly bullish, looking for potential long positions is pretty much a little bit the best outcome at this point. So that means that 42.60 might have the highest probability of success at this point. They also broke the prior swing high. They also broke outside the no trade zone. You see how this is starting to apply. And then finally, you look at the bottom of the price action structure on bigger time frames, and it's just suggesting buy setups in the main trend to the upside. Now, make sure to understand that that's not 100% foolproof. What do you mean by that, Carlos? Well, take a closer look at one tiny little detail. The market right now, it's still below an important dual high formation that they failed to break to the upside. Oh, I get it. So that means that we should not buy blindly? Not at all. You can use the tools and the information to gauge where the trend would be, but never forget about the price action structure. If the market has failed to break these highs right there, it's a high probability opportunity that they will fail again, right? It's not until they break through it and close above it that it will have clear tendency that they already are done with that and they're continuing on an upward movement. We already have the tools to let us know where should we focus. They broke outside the no trade zone. They also broke outside an important swing high of the previous session, but on the overnight session, they created a double top formation that they're tampering with for the third time. It will be applicable at this point to wait patiently until they break that level again and close behind it, and don't feel that you're missing out the trade. But why? This is fear taking control of you. Why do you say that? Because there's a lot of opportunity left to the upside. It doesn't matter if you miss out on the first beginning entry point. You can very well wait for it. The market will come back, and then you can just join them in. And by that time, everything is pretty much already bullish, and you can then aim for the next upcoming levels up. You got plenty of opportunities. All right? It's patience and due diligence. Understood? Chris, I got you. Yeah, I got your information. If you mind, we can just talk about it in the, I appreciate it though. Just send an email to carlos@trademission.com. We would like to, if it's okay with you, let me test it at first. If you think it's applicable, then we can share it. But I appreciate your efforts though. It's really awesome. All right. So let me talk about gold. Why is it that I'm not looking forward to go long gold? Long-term move is on the bearish side. Price action structure, big time frames, sells. In my case, in my tendency, in my view, this is a bearish outlook on a pullback, ABC structure pullback that could finish in here or in here. All right. This is how I play things now, guys. I'm just sharing it with you. All right. So this is an important low. This is an important high. The market just took the previous low, sustaining a long-term perspective bearish outlook. It is, for me, in a pullback tendency or a retracement level that could end anywhere from the 39.20-ish, 42.60, and 45-ish area. I will be patient enough for the market to reach these levels and start coming back down, right? Because as long as they don't break above that swing high over there, This is on the long-term perspective view for me, a bearish outlook. Now, I use the tool to gauge when the pullback is going to end. Understood? So I can apply my patience and discipline of saying, I'm going to wait until these guys are done on the pullback. I don't care. I'm not going to pay attention to it. And I'm going to sit on the sidelines. Another key factor for me to read this is the fact that if I bring this over, the momentum of the upper side is not as strong as I want it to, right? If I bring here the tendency, I see that the longer period of time, which is the main trend down, is still bearish on the negative side, telling me this is only a pullback. You see how cool that was? So now I can apply my discipline, and I'm saying, forget about gold for now. These guys are on simply a pullback. Okay. So the next thing that we do right now is just glancing at the momentum here. Can you tell me what is the momentum telling me here on the NQ? What it's telling me on NQ? It's all over the place now. It's still negative on the longer period of time, but now you can see we are on a decent pullback. Now, I don't like to trade NQ. On full disclosure, even with the tool, sometimes we get screwed. Hey, that actually rhymes. Even with the tool, sometimes we get screwed on the NQ because these guys are so volatile that takes the stop loss and we still being right on trend. Anybody remember that? And how can we gauge how much of a pullback we can expect? We use price symmetry. Look, 25.75, 25, 39 on every single pullback. You see this? So this means that we can just expect a 25 to 39 pullback before encountering again a move on the way down, which represents that we have to apply a lot of discipline, right? We also retrace back into the bottom of the no trade zone or unbiased tendency. Whatever was support turns into resistance, the situation or the moment, I'm a guess, right? That's what many people would say to me. Duh, Carlos, of course. So yeah, I'm just saying, you know, you don't forget about the old school stuff. It always works. So let's just measure this pullback. That's at 36. All right, awesome. So that means we are close to between the 25 and 39. You see that? All right, so what is that 39? They just moved 39. 39 is right in there. So let's just gauge that in there and just draw it. And that line represents a 39 tick pullback, right? We already know they're past the 25. Momentum is just gaining back this is gaining back momentum into the downside. Now you can deploy probably a 5-minute or 3-minute. I don't like lower time frames, but unfortunately the market has moved so much today that, you know, we're forced to go into lower time frames because the swings are so big that if I use a 10-minute, the average stop is going to be like 40 points. We don't want that. All right, so let's just deploy here what we call the pulling bar technique. I think it's working so far, so let's see. The pulling bar technique says on a downward move, we're expecting the prices to start doing a pullback, and basically after 2 pullback bars, not counting the lower one, the close of the higher bar, right, the bar that makes the highest, the close of it dictates that the bottom of that bar -2 can represent the entry point based on price transition. So you're talking about the fact that this is the low. This doesn't count because this is the bar that actually took the prior high. All right, so I'm going to go short here. Yes, this bar doesn't trigger it. This bar makes a new high. Cancel this one, so below this one. Yes. Now this bar made a new high. Yes, it canceled the previous one. Now it's below this one. Yes. Now this bar makes a new high. Yeah, it canceled the previous one. Yes, it did it again. So price action is just keeping rising and rising. Yes. Now this bar closes. Yes. Now it means that below this bar is a short position. Yes. Can we validate this with a long-term perspective? Yes. It's suggesting sell setups only. All right. But what about the commitment of traders on the lower time frame where they're not interested yet? These guys are still pushing further up. All right, so that means that they can push all the way through here? Probably, I don't know. So let's just look for other supports. Here's a support. They might want to go for that one, and so on and so forth. So that's our job as analysts at this point. We go back in time, and I said, darn it, there's so many previous supports, we don't know which one to pick. Well, guess this out. Here's one. You see this low right here? Isn't that the exact same one that they just touched? Darn it, you got it. That's right. So that means two things. That means that they just made 36 ticks of pullback right there. Yes. That is in sync with the pullback that they have done before. It looks like it. Yeah, it's 29, 24, 25, 25 here, 25 there, and they're way past the 25. Okay, so that means that we can short here? Not yet, but based on price structure, it seems like I can short this market 2 ticks below this bar right there, right in there. I'm going to short it right here as an example. I'm not going to do so, by the way. This is an explanation today because I need everybody to pay attention to it. All right, so that's going to be my short. Where's the stop? The stop is going to be on the top. Okay. As a matter of fact, this seems to be pretty decent to take that short position for a couple of ticks. Maybe I'll do on one contract. Let's see, maybe. All right. I don't want anybody to deviate the attention from the actual from an actual live trade. I want everybody to pay attention to the actual outcome without emotions involving to a trade. Agreed? Agreed. Understood, right? So let's just focus on today on the whole perspective. So basically a break below 1225. Let me see if that's true. It's a full point. I like a full point below. 1250. So 1250. Oh, there it is. Is that line right there? Okay. So now we have a pulling bar entry at 1250. If the market pierces through it and take it, boom, we're gonna pretty much have an entry. But if not, then obviously we still wait. So price action is not getting in. This is what we call a pivot step entry, by the way. But you see the momentum is these guys are still committed to continue pushing further up. But the long-term perspective is still bearish. So standing by, no trades. Now we have a pulling bar entry technique possibly here on the CL. Do we have commitment? Not there yet. Should we get in this one? Well, they left behind a double top formation that definitely is a rejection point of the pullback. Should we get in? You know what? Not there yet. Look at the momentum. It's dead. Darn it. I wanted this to be strong. So that means, wait, would that mean that if I go short, even on the price action, they can still push back up again? Exactly, because there's no commitment. But how do we know the commitment? I told you, it's above 150% on M15 or M5, right? And over 100% on M60. That's when we know we got the full support from sellers joining on all the way through down to the downside. Jose Gutierrez, excuse me, guys. There's somebody just asking about the language, so I'm going to translate in Spanish here. José, si tienes alguna duda, disculpa que no hemos podido hablar en español. So I'm sorry, José, because most everybody's is English speaking, not Spanish, so I apologize. Así que, José, si puedes, envíame un email, carlos@trademission.com, y con mucho gusto te podemos ayudar en español. Si eso es algo que te interesa para poder ayudarte. Okay, José? So I just explained to Jose that he can just contact us directly, and we can probably help him separately in Spanish. We're trying to do our best, guys. So it's going to be. Jose, lo voy a escribir aquí. Okay, thank you, Juan. Thank you. Ahí lo tienes. There you go. There you have it. All right, let's just go on in YM. All right, so let's see. Darn it, the trade already went rogue on us. But all right, this is a good explanation of the power levels. All right, let me just put it like so. You see it right here. Here's the YM. Check this out. So to demonstrate the power of the no trade zone, here's what we call the no trade zone or unbiased tendency. Once we clear and it close below it, the next opportunity should be pretty much the next level down, right? This one didn't reach precisely the level down, but it was a power zone, which means I forgot to actually put this in there. Like, hold on, like that. Between 25,104 and 25,082, there's a lot of floating orders back to back all the way there. Take a closer look. Once they clear the no trade zone, they went and reached that precise area and reverse and bounce from it back into the no trade zone. Price action structure is on the way down. Bearish tendency is on the way down. And if we bring here the tendency here and just focus on this one, you see that long-term perspective is bearish, right? Right here, YM. And short-term bias are on a pullback. So this means there's no backup of smaller traders because they already collected their funds. But the long-term perspective is still bearish. In other words, wait for the pullback to clear and continue on. Now, here's the thing. What if they break above that no trade zone? They're certainly going to move to the upper side. But most likely, listen, look at the force in the longer period of time, right? Talking about 2 hours, 1 hour, which means, let's see if this brings clarity to you now. What does that mean? It means that for the short-term bias, it looks like a bullish, but it's not. It is a bigger time frame pullback. You see now? I just zoom out. You go, holy shoot, you're right. Take a closer look. I thought that if we break here, we were going to be on a strong bullish. Now, it's a huge sell-off that they need to correct, right? So it's going to be only an extended pullback. So in order for me to become a really more detailed, responsible trader, I'm not going to be buying above this level. I could as a short-term trader or a scalper. I can do that. But since I'm a kind of a position swing trader, I basically just sit back and wait until they are done, hopefully anywhere in here, and I'm going to look for a retrace and continue on the way down, right? Unless, let me bring the unless the YM here, this guy's right here, start turning themselves into the green side above 100. Then, and only then, I will say, yoo-hoo, we get in, and we're going long now. And when we go, off we go to the tendency. So that, in a nutshell, guys, I know that I'm trying to make this as, you know, as fun as possible, but in reality, what we have created is something to gauge the market that can validate the analysis that we're going after. Does that make sense? So jokes aside, basically what we're trying to create is something that helps us dictate that the analysis that we're making is the right one, and most importantly, when we should stay out of the market to stay out of trouble. That's the whole thing, okay? So how does this going to work, Carlos? How are we going to be benefit from this? Well, we don't know yet. So I'm working on it. This is the first time that I'm opening up after my, you know, a long-term discussion of this, and having us, we try to do something really more aggressive on the NQ at the beginning of the month of the year. It just killed us. Not because of the selection. We were seeing 5, 6 full points, 10 full points profit, and I still been getting stopped out, -10, -7 points, because I was swinging for the targets because of the volatility of the market was so high that even so that we were right on trend in targets, I was trying to swing for bigger targets and it just didn't work out, okay? So I said, stop the NQ for now, because definitely it's not working us as a swing trading for trading mission, until we pretty much focus on the best outlook. And this is where everything came back into perspective and say, and we decided, all right, let's just bring the tool and teach everybody how is it that we're reading the momentum of it, so they can understand the reasoning behind things, and they don't get caught off guard, or they understand that if they get stopped out, it's not because they're wrong, it's because the market is really volatile. Does that make sense? so we can make better opportunities and better judgments into the decision making. So this is where we're at so far. So now, if you think about it, let's just go back into the analysis here. The market is back into the no trade zone. It just kind of makes sense. They're already sold off for a while, and now we're waiting for the opportunity to, arrive, set itself up. The first thing on CL, it seems like this might be the end of the road for CL on the downward move. Why you say that? The first thing is the following. Let me just expand CL for a moment. Price action. Let's just start with the price action. So low, there's important high, important low, at least what we got here. All right. In order for me to validate the continuation of a downward move, they should break below this levels. So that didn't happen. Long-term perspective, mid-term perspective, sell setup price action structure is still valid because of such a huge move that weighed down. It's not until they break above the 65.33 that we can consider ourselves a bullish tendency market. So now, do we consider sell setups? No, because the market just died. Okay, you can gauge here. All right, the market is dead. There is no momentum behind it in terms of the long-term perspective trend, and definitely no momentum from the actual buyers or sellers. I mean, the traders, I'm sorry, the actual speculators behind it. So that means put your hands off the mouse, be relaxed, go have a breakfast, just be patient until everything lines up so we can just find again the right ledger of the probabilities of success in our trades, which is going to be implied either on the break above that 33 or a retake again on the break below that 64.71 with a confirming momentum confirmation from the actual main trend and speculators in the market. This is a full-blown explanation today for you guys. We opened up literally for 4 years. We kept this for ourselves, and hopefully this brings the opportunity and clarity of what we do, which is not crappy shit. And I'm sorry for my French in there. And I'm not saying French; it's just a bad word. But I'm just saying that's the expression. We're trying to bring the best for you guys so you can make the best decision in trading in your systematic approach. The problem that we encounter of the thousands of traders that come through us, everybody has a different modality of trading. Everybody are using auto trading, algorithm trading, scalping techniques. Others are swing traders. There's many members here that they are actually position traders. They do the analysis for a couple of days. So how can we cater to everybody is quite difficult. Some people already has it. Some traders are killing it here with us, but I'm not interested of the few. I'm interested about the whole. I need everybody to be successful. That's the point of what we're trying to build here. I mean, some has better. How do you call this? Let me see. How can we say this? Some people has. No, estoy hablando de los pantalones. How do you say that? I don't want to say the bad word though. Some people has like better guts. Exactly. Some people has better guts to, or let me put it this way. I got clients that said, screw it. I don't care if I lose money. All right, that's fine. That's definitely a person set for trading, but not as a whole. I mean, you got the mindset, but you need in control. You see, you got to put the leash on the dog, this kind of thing. I mean, it's great that you're willing to risk it all. That's fine. That's perfect for trading. Ooh, you got 50% walked. But hey, you're going to be gambling, right? So let's just apply a structure behind it, and then you got a really good trader. Okay. Intestinal fortitude. There you go, Jack. Thank you. So what we're trying to do with this, by showing you this, what we're trying to do is provide that sense of commitment. So it doesn't matter which level or big balls, which level you're at or which system you use. Now everybody will have the exact same decision making in terms of trend, and everybody will have the same opportunity because you're going to be using the levels to confirm how far will they go, and you can tackle those targets, if you will, right? And everybody will have different, yes, everybody will have different results, because some people will go for bigger targets, and some people are going to have more guts to get earlier into the trade, and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the time, if everybody followed through on understanding the commitment behind the decision making, and most likely everybody joins the momentum, not simultaneously, kind of in the same area, everybody should be looking into the same results. Doesn't matter which style of trading you deploy. And that concludes the explanation of the brand new, hopefully what we call the brand new Trading Mission 2.0 for 2018. We've been discussing this since last year, but it was difficult for us to come up and share it the way that we would like to it without giving away the farm. But I think this is the best way for us to allow everybody to literally use their own systematic approach into the market and yeah, make the best out of it. Thank you, Rich. Like your comment. I enjoy your analysis today. You guys are clearly the real deal. Yes, Rich, as a way of explanation, we are analysts. My main corporation, or not corporate, my company, Trading Mission, we're just a consultant. So we got money managers that hire us to do the thorough analysis for swing trading. That's what we do. That's basically what it is. So our clients hired us to do, okay, give me a weekly chart analysis, just like you see here on the short-term bias, but they go for bigger. That's what we've been doing for the last 9 years or so. Okay, Trading Mission is a byproduct on a lower scale, which has been difficult, by the way, trying to create that. But I hope you can see the value of the information. The most important thing for you at this point, please, don't waste your time today thinking that you're wasting your time. Hopefully not. It's the fact that you're going to have access to the levels right here, and then you can use that and compare that with everything. Let me refresh. There you go. So let's just get back into the decision making at this point. So let's see if you guys are still getting this. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I think bigger would be better. Hold on. Wait for it. Let me just set this right. Maybe 25. Let me see if that works. All right, you see it better now? It's a little bit bigger, yes? I think that works. Jogan, Carlos, how do you work the neutral zone based on range trading? Jogan, no, we teach that on one of our courses, but it's a combination of a process. Unfortunately, I can't share that with you here, but it's a combination of different, about 4 or 5 different analysis. Plus, I'm part of a group from one of my trading mentors on Skype, and we do the analysis first, and then we ask them their levels that they're looking for. And they, for instance, they say, we're interested in the 72.20-ish, 85.25-ish, 88 something, blah, blah, blah. And whatever comes into confluence on our analysis, we create the zone. But we teach that separately if that of your interest, which is out of the scope of the presentation today. Okay. And once again, I'm not teaching the course or anything. I'm just saying, if you want to learn how to do it. But basically, we provide this for you every single day. It's actually, we do it for you every single day. We've been doing it for you. So you just basically you just log in into Chatzy, click here, and you want to see the ES one, click on the ES. boom, and it's available. It's there for you, already done for you. We do it for you. But if you want to go into learning it, then yeah, we certainly can help you out with that as well. Do you analyze Forex? Yes, sir, we do under what my first service is for side effects. I think we've been around it for about 10 years now. Foresight effects. For those of you interested in the let me see if I can show it to you. Foresight effects. You go to Foresight effects, and we do this. But granted, this is swing trading. This is not day trading. So we provide a daily video forecast. You can test it for $7, but it's a daily video forecast for the currency market. We do 6 currencies in there. We've been doing it for about 10 years now. Eric says, thanks for your advice. Thank you, is my bread and butter. Awesome, Eric. That's great. Eric says, I recommend Carlos, amazing system, great job. I'm making money, Carlos, my account is 100%. What? 120% up? Freaking awesome, dude. Wow, thank you. Can we use that as a testimony? That's good. You got me by surprise there. 2 months, awesome. So you've been doing about what? About 50, 60% a month. I mean, it's really, yeah, that's realistic at this point based on what I do. That's awesome. That's awesome, Eric. Congratulations, my friend. Using the inner circle, it's great. Great. All right, so now, guys, check this out. Let me explain. Everybody's here. Does everybody enjoy today's presentation so far? Guys, can you share me some hate or love? It doesn't matter. I need to know if you guys enjoy the explanation of things, the brand new things, and clarity and the teaching so far. Awesome. All right. Now let me put you into the line right now. Out of show of hands, let me see. What should we do with CL at this point? What are we looking to do on CL at this point? Let's see if you get it or not. Come on. Thank you guys for all right. Wait, Mark, seek nada. There you go. Awesome. It's time for donuts. Duck donuts. My wife is not here, so I can see it. It's time for duck donuts and some coffee. All right, awesome, guys. As long as you can benefit from the analysis and the whole thing, that's all we care about. This is pretty cool stuff. So what we're trying to work on is, one, we need to sit down later on and see how we can arrange the charts. I have no idea. I tried and it's kind of all cramped. It's all crazy shit. So we can add the single momentum tool on each one of the charts so everybody can see it, because if I put it like here, you know that it looks really squeezed and it doesn't, you can't see it clearly.
Yes. All right.
And we can use the full-blown one because then it takes all the real estate of the thing. Nigel, today's my first time here. Very glad I came. You have opened my eyes to how professional trade thinks. Awesome, Nigel. Thank you. Billy, that's what I'm just talking about right now. We need to find a way to add the tool for the other ones. You know, I think for today, what I'm going to do, it's difficult because then I will have to squeeze everything like this. Let me see, how can I do this? It's difficult. I don't have too much real estate. That's a problem. It's a good thing that I got my chart trade hidden. It's active on live account, But you see, it's difficult for the real estate. You see it? So probably I can bring these over here. Maybe this will help. Okay. These are the only ones that we followed through at this point. We got plenty of more. I don't know if this helps. Does this helps in any way? You got YM, NQ, and GC. Isn't this awesome, right? So now we have on a glance, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Wait for it. How about here? I move this here. I move this here. And I move this here. And then I move this here. Does this work? Now you have YM and QGC ES here. And while we come up with a better Rafael. Yeah, I said Duck Donuts. They just opened one here in Orlando. And I mean, I'm for, my wife doesn't want me to go there. Dude, I don't like donuts at all, but those donuts taste like, the donuts when you has anybody remember going to Kmart and they have like this tiny little donuts or in front of, I think, what was it? Home Depot or whatever outside, the little donuts or whatnot. It's just, they're awesome because they're not that sweet, although they're fried though. But I don't like any other donuts. I don't eat actually donuts. Those are the only ones that I have, and really crispy, so really good. So there you go. So now we stand by. We're just glancing at the market. Let me explain to you how things are played out right now. So let's just say, the first thing that we do, we glance at the market right here and say GC, slightly bullish, but on the long-term perspective, negative, standing outside. NQ seems to be negative. They're on a pullback. YM seems to be negative on a pullback. ES seems to be negative on a pullback. Now, the only one that kind of changed tendency is the CL is completely dull. Don't put any efforts into the CL until they make a decision at this point. So it looks like they're on a transition of a bearish outlook, because now I notice the bottom side was strong earlier and now it's weak. So this seems to be a transition point into the bullish side of bullish tendency on CL, but there is no commitment behind it from speculators, which means no trade so far on the CL today. This means we got to wait until 9 o'clock and see the clarity of the market, what they wanted to do, and then we're going to bring in the cavalry and look for opportunities. Once again, nothing is 100% in a success rate here, which is using the tool to gauge the decision making and trend of each one of these markets, and then we deploy our own methodology into the decision making. Then we move into what we call obviously the levels and no trade zone and all that stuff to gauge those levels. So that means that my thought process is, all right, the CL was negative and it just died out. So I'm still slightly bearish, but there's nothing to do at this point. I'm going to wait until we have more clarity. But if they decide to move further up, that means that I should start seeing commitment of traders becoming buyers until the actual big time frames or commitment of bigger players start jumping into the bullish side. But taking a closer look at the long-term perspective, which is the 60 level, which is the perfect gauge for us, it's still negative. So these guys are only on a bigger, decent pullback with no momentum behind it, standing outside on the market, no decision making. On the indices, slightly bearish, waiting for the pullback to end. See how it looks, how we read it? You can see here how we're getting negative again into the negative side, which means we should be looking for an opportunity to short this bad boy, right? All right, so now we wait. Yep, wait until everything lines up. One, we see M60 bringing the 100. 3 minutes into the opening of the oil. So there's no trade. I'm just putting this away for a moment because I'm still negative. You can see it. It's getting really interesting on their situation. There is a pullback happening. Yes. The pulling bar technique already happened, right? The pulling bar technique already happened with the fill of 6503, 05, I mean 04, 05, and it's just moving on its way. Standing by. All right, guys. All right, so it's 9 o'clock. Let me focus here for a moment. Looks like we're looking for 150. And now let's just focus on the decision making right now. Let's see. We're ready in a pullback? Yes. Main trend is not there yet. I need this 110% or weaker. I need this one at 150 or so. So we're not there yet. And I need this at 150 or so. Not there yet, but it's getting weak, right? So standing by and waiting for everything to line up, right? We're still inside the no trade zone. The market made a pullback of 40 ticks, which is pretty much spot on the decision making that we had earlier, right? About 10 more ticks or pips. So let's just sit back and wait until everything lines up. You just got to be patient. Yes, you can do an aggressive counter trend move entry. That's absolutely. This is where each and every one of us comes into play of doing or using your own methodology. Okay? Make sense? Everybody use their own methodology and techniques and whatnot. I like to wait for full-fledged confirmation on all the layers and levels that we use. Market is on a pullback, it's inside the no trade zone or unbiased zone, slightly bearish because the long-term perspective is still intact, right? Look, I'm gonna zoom out. Long-term perspective is still intact on the way down. This high that they made right here in the overnight session, 65.39, is lower than the previous one yesterday. And this one that they just made right now is lower than the overnight session one, still bearish. If we take a closer look at our momentum tool, everything is on the negative side. It's just that there's no commitment behind it, because the commitment layers that we program into this thing, it has to be above and beyond 150 to 200. So it's not there yet. It's slightly bearish, but we're not there yet. Standing by, waiting for confirmation. Yes, granted, it's highly probable that by the time that we have confirmation, a decent move has already or undergone, which means we got to either join them in and place a bigger stop on their swing, because the market is moving quite hefty. I'm on a 5-minute chart, and right off the bat, this tiny bit of a move down, it's 25 ticks. The average pullback is 28, 22, 22, understood, 40. So the mentality right now, it has to be, darn it, if I join CL in whichever point it is, I have to give it a thought that I have to allow the market to pull back up all the way up to 25 ticks, even 30 ticks, and still being right on trend. Agreed? Yes or no? Looking for sell setups only on CL as of this moment is what it looks like it's going to sustain itself into. Standing by. No trades whatsoever. We need confirmation. All right. NQ on the way down. It looks like these guys are coming back into the negative ground, and we knew that because this guy is still above 200% and 15, right? ES, negative sound. These guys are on the sell side. Sell setups only on the CL. And you can see CL right on the top here, moving on the way down. NQ following through, YM following through. I'm not trading those markets today, by the way. By 9:15, we should see some clarity on the CL. We're just standing by and waiting patiently. Let me see the 10-minute chart. Standing by. All right, here we go.
Ready.
I think we are almost there. We got 150, we got 100, 110. This looks good. Let's see if we can get a pull bar entry here. All right, 87. I'm going with only one contract. Calculating stops. $65.16 is a swing trading stop one.
Yep, confirm.
All right. And the actual target should be, Juan, can you confirm the target's down? I got 44, 41. It's 9:11, 9:15. By 9:15, we should have seen some move.
$44, $41 is confirmed.
41, right? So I'm going for 45, and I'll trail the stop. Okay. All right, guys. So we got in actually a little earlier. There's a pulling bar technique actually on the 10-minute mark at the 65.02. We broke below that 64.95, and we just got inside the first earlier readings of the 60 mark and M5 mark. So we might be a little bit early into the entry though. All right. Let me expand this for a moment. We're looking for targets below the swing lows here, and that goes to 64.44, 41, 64.25 is the one that we most likely be inclined into eventually. All right. I'm not saying I'm going to wait all the way there. Since today we're in the middle of presentation, I am probably going to wait for some movement and trail the stop really fast. It doesn't matter if I get a tick or two or 10 or 20 or whatever. Okay. I like to trade off the 50-minute chart, just so you know. For me, this is more, it brings a little less noise and more clarity into the decision making. All right, so let me put this back because I know you guys are paying attention to this one right here. Yeah, initial confirmations. Take a look at the M1, which is about to move on the NQ. Yeah, same here. Perfect. Okay. No, I got, okay. No, todavía. Standing by. Well, by 9:15, we should see some movement happening. NQ following through the ES, negative side of things. $12 minutes, 12, and it's still on the lower end of the ledger of the bar, which seems to be a weak point, which is gray, by the way. $150 M1, negative side on the NQ, that's a sell setup. There he goes. And 16, okay, it's 9:15, so we should see some movement now. Still on the negative side of things. $12 stop, 65, 12 stop. Pulling bar technique on 10-minute, on 15-minute chart, and 10-minute chart came right in here, right in there. So this is a high of the bar. They close right there after the pullback into the no trade zone. They created a that bar right there, the bottom of that bar, minus 2 ticks. That was the reason we shorted right there. Once we saw M5 in the beginning stages of 150, and the beginning stages of 100 on M60. Understood? I use a price action structure to get a little bit ahead of time. Confirm, if we wanted to confirm everything, the layer would be to wait for everything to 110% or more, negative 150 on both of this, the guys, and perhaps even wait for the market to break through this level. The problem is that if we do that, we're discussing Juan and myself, we do it, then the stop is going to be way beyond 40-something ticks. That's the reason I'm just reaching 25 ticks. My maximum allowance of risk is about 30 ticks on each trade. And we're just way below that. So I'm willing to take that risk using the price action entry, which is the pulling bar technique. Anybody remember the pulling bar technique? Yes or no? It's going to be downward, pulling bar, the higher bar. Once it closes 2 ticks below, that should be the entry point, and that happened right in here, okay? But we took that entry once we saw this guy right here above 150 for a moment, giving us the heads up, and this guy was above 110 for a moment. So that was kind of the giveaway. So that kind of helped me gauge that I probably could take that price action entry. But if I wanted everything to be lined up perfectly, I'll just have to wait until everything is completely sustained in those negative points. So this is an early stage entry using the price action system. But still, I waited for a little bit of a glimpse of a negative side. This might not work out. This might work out because I'm a little early into the trade. Nice trade setup on the NQ. Bottom part of things. Negative sides. Now I will either get stopped out or the market will move in my favor. Here's the NQ going further down. All right, so that one didn't work out right there for us. And I use a price action structure. So this goes with the explanation of earlier saying I use the price action structure entry, right, on the early stages of the momentum, but there was no confirmation on the bigger time frames, right? price action assertion didn't work out. So now I'm going to wait until that everything lines up and take a second trade based on everything lined up. All right. Reason why we suggested that you just watch it on the sidelines, right? Stand by.
Carlos got ready for a sell setup on oil. Still missing one confirmation, but see momentum transition.
All right, waiting. Yep, everything's still bearish. Look for sell setup so far. Incredible move on the NQ on the way down. 15-pointer for J, 11-pointer for Anna. Not bad. Standing by, nothing yet. No confirming levels. We're just getting ready. Long-term perspective, M6 is still is slightly negative on the ledger, so no trades. Momentum has died out here on the CL, standing by. 934. There you go, Jay. Killing it. 50.
All right, guys, standing by for potential reversal on CL. As you can see, the momentum is on bias right now, long term. So standing by.
All right, guys. So as you can see by glancing at the tool right here, pay attention. The market is obviously 930 doing its thing on a very unbiased tendency. CL slightly bearish on the longer time frame still, but unbiased from the momentum base. I use a pulling bar technique that didn't work out because I needed to type my stop, but basically it's still slightly bearish, standing by until everything gets a clarification, and I'll join them in again on the way down. So as you can see, target selection is a very important aspect of your trading. So right now, I'm going to wait until everything lines up, even if I missed out a big chunk of change. But I wanted to try to get in on the pulling bar entry technique on the way down, and it held quite a bit for a while. But then again, 930 came in and screwed things up. But then again, still bearish side on the momentum based on the tool. We just need to confirm everything by waiting for the right levels to jump in, like mine 150, 150, and 110, 120 on H60. Standing by, but focus on potential sell setups only. Standing by. Ooh, and by the way, those of you killing it on the MQ, you guys are awesome. Break through the 67, 19, 25. Boom, they reached the 95, 75. That's not 85, it's 75. And now the market is just pretty much, yeah, slightly bearish, but a little bit unbiased. Okay, standing by.
All right, Carlos, I see transition. Still waiting for momentum confirmation on oil.
Standing by.
Yep, same here. Got 44, 64, 44 purple. Move your target to 45. One tick above.
All right, guys. So we're just having issues with my audio. Sell setups only, and sellers stepping in. We're already 22 points of profit, and the difference of the two entries, as I was explaining, was as follows. The first one was based on price action structure to start to get myself ahead of the game, but I run the fact of getting the stop, right? I should have placed my stop at the other side of the ledger. Now, this second entry, 22 ticks, but the only difference was everything was lined up perfectly and they broke outside the no trade zone. Did you saw and understood the difference of the entries, guys? Yes? Does that make sense today? You see the difference? First one, I wanted to get ahead of the game. Still right on trend though. I was right on the market. I was right on the trend. No issues there. Spot on. But I wanted to get ahead of the game. So it requires for me to do a decent pullback, right? And I got stuck out on it. Now the system as a whole is the second trade. So we took the second trade on the second entry, but this time around, everything was backed up by everything, which is look for sell setups only, and now everybody's backing it up. All of the speculators are backing it up. It's up to you to take the profits that you want and trail the stop accordingly. I'm risking myself here because I'm just trailing it too tight and the market is too volatile at this point. Still, this is telling me focus on sell setups or hold position to the short side. Sellers are stepping in, okay? So I'm hoping that the market reach my targets at any moment now. $73 stop now. $67 stop now. Good. I got confirmation, 158.
I have confirmation also.
$66 stop now. Hold positions, sell setups only, seller stepping in, backing it up. Let's see if we don't get stuffed out and the market continues. They are battling 64.57 at this point, triple bottom. I mean dual bottom over here. Hold positions on the short side. Now, if you're swing trading, it's a different ballgame, right? You're just getting started because these guys are battling. Look, the previous double, triple bottom right here that I was just referring to now. This is the battle right now. This is what's going on, right? It's not until we clear that we can feel comfortable. But you saw the opportunity. How do we trade using the momentum backup indication by everything? And right off the bat, we took 20 to move. All right, there you go. I'm stepped out, and I'm going to let it be at this point. And this concludes the presentation today and the different modalities of trading. The first one was price action structure ahead of the game with not full-fledged backup of the tool. Second was everything backed up by the tool, waiting for the break of the levels, immediately saw an opportunity to capitalize with 22 ticks. Next layer down, 64.44, and if you take a closer look, sell setups only, backed up by sellers. Next level down, 64.44. You can hold this trade on the way down, and I will finish the presentation as soon as we reach that 64.44 any moment now. Gold on the way negative side here. Sell setups only on gold. As we mentioned earlier, I was more bearish than bullish on gold, and there it is. Let me hold here until the 64.44 is reached, and then we're going to be done. Guys, so far, do you see the full-fledged explanation of everything? good, bad. This is the whole key, the whole enchilada kind of things. So what we're planning to do is just being able to provide you through the membership here access to the level so you can deploy your assessment into the market, your decision making. Today, okay, who was it? Mark says -7 for 14, 7 total. Okay, see, Mark, awesome. Yeah, you will get, as soon as you start using this, you're gonna start feeling a little bit better in holding positions and so on, and going for bigger targets. Yeah, Mark, this is not an order flow. Well, it's kind of an order flow thing, but it's a hybrid. But it's pretty darn good, as you can tell. Okay. See you, Barrio. Anybody traded the NQ? I think I saw a couple of you guys trading it. Awesome. No. Really? All right, spot on, Kevin. Thank you for sharing, Kevin. Great job. Yeah, even if we get a few hits here and there, we can just make it back and just walk out profitable. Great presentation there, Kevin. Appreciate it. Ratley, your levels are fantastic. Thank you, Riley. Ratley. Yes, it's awesome to see you back, my friend. So I hope you like the new addition into our arsenal of stuff. Anything to better your trading. We're still here following along the CL. CL is suggesting sell setups only, and sellers are stepping in. Obviously, that what I said in the earlier in the presentation, we just don't know when it's going to happen. That's what sucks. But let's see. The first trade, we were looking for a sell setup. We were right. It was just that we happened to enter too early, possibly prior to the 9:30. After 9, but prior to the 9:30. And, you know, always things happen. Kind of sucks. Now, the second trade entry was lined up with everything perfectly aligned. M5, M15, M60. And right now he's suggesting hold positions to the downside, and calculated levels to reach is 64.44 and 64.25 and 64.13. I'm holding here to see if we can see the 44 being reached at any given moment. Any questions so far from people visiting for the first time? Any suggestion or comments will be appreciated. Hope you really like the power of the information that we're providing you and the tools to put you into the positive side of that small percentage of successful traders who has an advantage of information that nobody else has. Here we go. Juan, I got confirmation at the 60 on CL.
Same here.
Next level down, 64.54. There you go. Perfect. Momentum readings, sell setups only. Sellers are stepping in and backing up the main trend. Let's see if they move or not. Kevin only is going to be available through here, through the process of the timing that we're going to be, you know, we open the room. We're working on perhaps even if we close or stop the room, keep it open all the way up until 11:30. It's a tool that is not for sale, unfortunately, but we're making it available for you guys. Jay asking what would be the stop. Jay, the simplest form for you to gauge where the stop should be is identifying the previous pullback. Here's a pullback of about 34. Here's the earlier one of about 40, right? So measure that from the bottom and just go with 40, right? So let's just say 40 would be right in here. Let's see, 40 would be right at 64.98, 97. And the next thing that you do is go back and check where it was the previous support and resistance. You can see that 97 is still below this double top. So I will place my stop at the 65.05 for swing trading, Jay. Mark, it could be, I just have to ask, go to webinar if we have enough capacity, because each one is being always recorded. So I need to know at which level or at which point they will turn off automatically the room. Mark, but yeah, that's what's going to happen. We're probably going to leave it open, and you guys can keep the focus on this alone or something like that. But we're working on it, guys. As long as you see that it's valuable, we're willing to invest. It will cost us a little bit more, but it has to be with the minimum potential requirements in terms of, you know, we just have to have a minimum amount of members or something to make it worth, because if not, you know, we just go back to where we were, just, you know, keep it out and that's it. but we're working on it, Mark. Anything that we can that can help you or take Trading Mission to the next level, and I think this is definitely going to be extremely valuable. I gotta move it down. Sorry, just like this. I got to put it in a way that the lines doesn't interfere with the numbers, so you don't miss out. Still holding here for 64.44. Our momentum tool suggests wholesale setups only. Sellers are somewhat interested still into backing that up because they're above 150, which is positive for holding the position down or look for sell setups. But what is the problem? The question would be, but why are they stopping? They made a double bottom. What's going on? Well, go back in time and you notice here, this is their issue. Understood. You see now where the issue is? There is a multiple bottom formation yesterday that they're battling at this point. That's the reason why the market is having a lot of issues going through it. Kevin is, yeah, it's for the room. Yeah, the inner circle is separate. You have no, the inner circle is the inner circle. It's no issues. It has nothing to do with the monthly, Kevin. So once an inner circle student, always an inner circle student. Oh, come on, just move. Hungry already. There we go. Come on, guys, just give me the 64.44. Sell setups only. Hold positions to the sell side. Focus on the trailing stop so far. Swing trading stop should be based on the previous price action movement and symmetry above the 64.97. 10 o'clock reversal is here. It's 8 minutes already past to it, and the market is just sustaining itself below the 25% of the downward move. So that's good. Seems to be weak. Gomer, 16-pointer on MQ. Great job. Gomer, here's a quick question. Gomer, please, you care to share? Did you use the momentum indicator to be able to pull 16-pointer or not? I'm just curious. Did it give you some confidence, or you traded on your own? Just curious. Got it. No, I just wanted to know. Thank you. 5 more minutes to see if this guy's continuing or not. Target hit on the on the website on the web part of the no trade zone. Next level up, 80.25, and you can take a closer look at here above 150. Looking for buys, set of buys, setups only. Buyers stepping in and not stepping in. Buyers back in that new uptrend tendency. Next level up, 80.25. And guess what? If they break above that no trade zone, next level up should be 24.25 and 34.25. We'll see about this in a moment. You can see it on the left side here. Come on, guys, hurry up, man. I'm hungry. Here we go. Thank you. Hold positions on the short side. Sell, setups only. 64.44 next. Arriba, abajo. No. Tira el screenshot, por favor, para tener no, pero a mí aparte, no en el grupo. 80.25 coming up next on NQ. Perfect. Awesome. Here we go. There you go. M5, 250 again, confirming seller stepping in. Sell, setups only. Next level down, 64.44. Dropping your, there you go. Dropping your swing stop, Jay, to the 79 level at this point. No need to risk. They should not come back up. They should continue down. Next level down, 64.44, 25, 64.13. All right, breaking outside the no trades on NQ. Take a closer look at the commitment of buyers. Buy setups only. Buyers stepping in. Next level up, 24.25. Wow, this is being a great presentation, man. This is awesome. We've seen everything, upside, downside, switch of trades. I mean, I think it's recorded. It's being recorded, right? Yes, I get it.
It's being recorded. Yep.
All right, that's great. Here we go. Come on, guys. Give me the 44. I got a client asking one holding. Tell the guy, yeah, tell the guys to hold for 44. I mean for 45.
Knowledge.
¿Tienes el close? ¿Tienes el screenshot del close? Dámelo. There you go. Sí. Sell, setups only. They're battling against that previous swing low. NQ, you can see here, buy, setups only, buyers stepping in, over 600% commitment. A break above that 89.50 could trigger a burst up, hopefully all the way to 24.25, 34.25 today. We already know how far they will go, okay? Actually, we need to fix this. It's like this. There you go. Great trade there. Come on, guys, give me the 44 so we can be done. I need to finish the presentation. There you go, Chris. I got it. That's a point. That's a reason that I like it, man. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. That means that we, at least our job is helping you in any way, and you can make it better on your own. So, which is freaking awesome. Congratulations, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And thank you for sharing it here. Now is the time to tight the stops. This is taking way too long for reaching the objective. Nevertheless, sell setups only, hold positions to the short side, but we don't deviate from the fact of trailing our stops. Move the stop to the 64.76 to 64.73 or so. I would probably pick the 74. Agreed? Sell setups only, sellers backing it up, next level down, 64.45, 44. New levels up, YM breaking outside the no trade zone, and take a look at the commitment on the site here, 500, 300%, 133, looking for buy setups. Next level up, YM, 25.47. Next level up, NQ, 24.25. ES is a little bit late into the playground here, but it should move swiftly, following through. Take a look at the commitments of trading. Awesome. Over 250. I got to see it about 120, 150. This is way committed to the long side. And the commitment of traders or speculators are backing it up. So let's see how long will they take to continue. They have moved already 109 ticks. So interesting. Tight your stop on the CL, please acknowledge. Okay, Gomer says second NQ long trade 47. Thank you for your insight. Talking about awesome, Gomer. I'm glad that you're killing it. Exactly. That's a good point. The momentum indicator is great to tell when not to trade. You're awesome. He got it. He actually got it. You see. So Gomer did. Gomer decipher the actual workaround. For instance, if you take a closer look at gold, gold is dying out. So this is not time to trade. CL just died out, and the stop is there, trailing or collecting some profits, and that's it. Still negative, but that's it. That was the run on the CL. All right, guys, so I think we're done today. We're going to continue tomorrow and follow along the exact same process. All right. All right, so far we're going to let it go. At this point, it's 10:21. We're done this morning. Next level up on the NQ 24.25, 34.25. YM next level up is 25.47. And the levels here that I got on the E-mini S&P are within inside the no trade zone, which is 58.50, 62.75, 65, and 72.50. You got the screenshots available for you. And gold is dead. CL is dead at this point. Normal trades slightly bearish though, still slightly bearish until we break above the 65.33. So it means that we could still see CL eventually drop down eventually. So all right, see you tomorrow, guys. So hope you enjoyed it. And congratulations for those of you who actually took action on it and capitalized heavy on it. So cheers, be safe. All right, congratulations for those who killed it on the NQ. All right, and at the CL as well. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.